Hey Pitmasters, what is up? Today I got a special guest. So this is my special guest. Welcome, Jort.
Thank you.
I'm really happy to have you, and well, what's going to happen, because I didn't prepare anything.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to be cooking from my latest book, Winter Barbecue. It's cold here now. It's definitely on the edge of fall and winter, and it's the game season. So game is sometimes perceived as difficult or very pronounced in flavor. We're going to prove those two wrong. It's a very accessible recipe. It contains a lot of recognizable ingredients, such as bacon. Everybody loves bacon on a barbecue. And it has a very interesting sauce. Most barbecue sauces tend to be sweet. This is also a sweet sauce, but it has a little bit more power, a little bit more punch that's going to add up nicely with the game that we're cooking. Do you know what game it is?
Rabbit.
Yes, it is.
So this is the book that Jort is talking about, his winter barbecue book, and the recipe is straight from this book. So if you like this recipe, you definitely need to check out this book. At the end of the video, you're gonna give one of these away, right?
I am. I will sign it. I'll put a nice message in there. And I have to say though, it's a Dutch book.
Yeah.
So if you're from overseas, you either gotta hit up Google Translate or you just gotta love the pictures. Yeah. But it's an interesting book, even if you just look at the pictures.
Let's get started.
Yes, sir.
So normally the first thing that we do here is fire up the barbecue. Is that the case here?
Yeah, let's do that. So that by the time the barbecue's nice and ready then we'll be ready with the meat.
Awesome. Yeah. I'll fire up the barbecue. You explain what we're going to do.
Sure. So while Roel is finishing up lighting the grill, I want to talk about brining. Okay, so rabbit is a lean meat. There's not a lot of fat on the animal, and we're taking the leanest cut, which is the loin or the fillet. So brining helps you in two ways. It adds moisture, prevents the meat from drying out while we're cooking it on the smoker or the grill, and it adds flavor. I see that before we put it in a brine, we did not take off the silver skin, so right now it's an important step to do so, because silver skin will get tough, and I don't know about you, but I like my meat tender.
Yeah, I like my
All right,
meat tender.
You gonna help me with that?
Sure.
Let me put it in the middle, to trim them up. The only advice I can give you when you cut away silver skin, take your time, because you want to take the skin and not the meat. So just use a sharp knife and pull it off gently.
Yeah. These are big rabbits, though.
Yeah, I don't think they were not snatched from the dunes. I think they were farm raised.
No, I like to use farm raised animals. For instance, goose. We got a lot of wild goose in this area.
Why would you farm raise goose if it's a
plague?
A plague in the Netherlands?
Because of the flavor.
Just go to Schiphol and get some.
from
They'll pay
the engines of the.
they'll pay you to get some of their goose.
Now what?
Now what? So next step is that these fillets, as you can see, are very thin. So if we were to just wrap it in bacon, it would be cooked well done beyond belief before the bacon crisps up. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna cut the fillets into portions so that we can kind of wrap them all together. What we wanna do is we wanna gain some volume to wrap. Yeah. All right, so that's basically it. I can guarantee you by the time we're gonna be cooking these, they will fall apart.
Yeah, for sure.
But as my mama taught me, you can't put it in your mouth whole anyways.
If it looks good, it's probably not gonna taste as good. So we'll use bacon to make sure this sticks together, but
it's gonna fall apart once you cut it. The thing is, these are loose loins and they will be bound together a little bit, and if we are really good at wrapping with bacon, they might stick together, but they're probably gonna fall apart. But the thing is, the slices would be too big to put in your mouth whole anyways, so who cares?
Yeah, and these things are the best things, because you throw them on the grill, they get crispy on the outside,
oh, yeah.
And then you just snack them in between.
Just add some pepper, no salt, because it's already been brined and it's gonna be wrapped in bacon. Now this is a bit of a tedious job because you want to wrap it as tight as you can, overlaying the strips of bacon so it doesn't fall apart whilst cooking. Some people, what they would do is they kind of make it like a sushi roll. Yeah. So then they would layer it out, put the fillets on, then wrap it. But the problem then is that you get one side of the bacon is very thick and the other side could be thin, and the overlap is all the way the same.
Yeah.
The difficulty then is that if it starts to loosen up, there's nothing holding it in place. So that's not how we're gonna do it.
Okay.
Wrapping bacon is an art.
So we got this beautiful grill, and I want to know how you want to set up the grill for cooking these rabbits.
I want a indirect heat so that we can give it some time to add some smoke flavor to it, but I want it hot. So I want indirect at 180 degrees Celsius. So it's time to rub the wrapped rabbit.
Rub the wrapped rabbit. Rub the wrapped rabbit.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it.
Rub the wrapped rabbit. There we go.
So this is your.
This has been one of the first blends that we came up with. It's our pig powder. And it's a very, it's nothing too surprising there. It's a sweet heat profile.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah, so we got the sweetness comes from cinnamon and fennel, and the heat comes from chipotle. Yeah. So it's a well-balanced rub, and we predominantly use it on our pork.
I got some heat there.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm a big believer of taking your time to sprinkle to get a nice and even coating. Next up, we're gonna be focusing on the sauce. Now, normally barbecue sauce, it's an American thing, it's ketchup based. We're here in Europe, and I'm trained French based. So the mother of all ingredients in French sauces is called demi-glace. It's an over-reduced veal stock, and that's actually gonna be the base of this recipe. And then other than that, what's typical barbecue sauce? It tends to be on the sweet side, absolutely. So there will be some sweetness in there. We're gonna derive it from marmalade. There's gotta be alcohol involved.
Man, I was waiting for that. When does the alcohol come in? Want to roast some pine nuts first?
Yeah, let's start with that. While the nuts are toasting, we're gonna be chopping up the onions and the tarragon. Start with a knob of butter.
What are you calling a knob?
First, put in the onions together with the raisins so they can soften up in the warm butter. Add your cinnamon stick as soon as you can so you can extract the most flavor out of it. Add some salt and pepper, then add the red wine vinegar and the port. Next step up is adding the marmalade, about a good spoonful. Stir that in, let it melt. When the port has reduced to half its volume, it's time to add the demi-glace, the reduced veal stock, and the wild broth. And finally, bring it to flavor with some chipotle Tabasco. When your sauce is ready, meaning that all flavors have blended together and your sauce is reduced to a nice thickness, that's when you add the tarragon. So almost at the end. We'll store it in a jar for when the rabbit is done.
I'm quite interested in about the rabbit. I want to see it cook.
Yeah, me too. So let's do it.
Let's do it. So one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, what type of smoke wood do you prefer and what would you use with rabbit?
Well, first of all, you should use whatever you feel comfortable with, what you have laying around. When I make a choice what wood I use, is I look at what am I cooking and how long is it going to be in the cooker for. Like for instance, rabbit, these loins, I want to crisp up the bacon and I want the loins to stay moist. So I really want to have a short time in the cooker at a high temperature, so I only have a little amount of time to carry over the smoke wood. So I want to go for something pungent, but yet sweet. There's only one solution, it's called cherry. Basically, just keep it by ear. We'll look at it a little bit, see how the heat responds to the bacon. We want to crisp that up, but not overcook the rabbit.
A little bit of smoke color?
Yes.
Nice.
Coffee? Beer.
Beer. I'm looking at the time here and I'm thinking, they could be done, right?
It is done. It's time to eat.
Nice. Oh, it looks good. And the smell that comes off it, I can smell actually a little bit of the brine. Mm-hmm. It really smells really good. It looks good. We got the crispy outside. You can see that the sugar has caramelized onto the bacon. The bacon has crisped up. Oh man.
Stop talking, let's start cutting.
Slice, slice. What are you waiting for?
Here we go. Ooh, it looks
really good.
Nice and moist from the brine, so that worked out perfectly. After you sliced your rabbit, it's time to put the sauce on. Final touch, the toasted pine nuts.
I'm coming down to your level.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, you cooked it.
Yeah, so you're the guest.
Oh, okay.
I'm the guest chef, you're the guest.
It looks fantastic. I must say, it looks so juicy, and the brine did it, but getting it like juicy like that and not falling apart, which is also great. Crispy skin. Man,
stop talking.
Stop talking. This is literally when you're afraid of eating rabbit because you're thinking it's gonna be too gamey. Absolutely perfect recipe.
Yeah, it has everything. Nice texture, and in the flavors it balances a bit between sweet, a little bit of heat, nice and gamey, but not too overpowering. So
yeah, and the
dish for everybody.
The first thing that hits you is you get salt, and you get that a little bit of acidity, and you get the sweetness, but it's not overpowering. This is absolutely fantastic dish. This is really barbecue.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool that you kept it barbecue. Awesome.
Yeah, you can talk. I'm gonna eat more.
Yeah, I'll have another one as well. There you go.
Ja, doe een nootje erop, nootje erop, doe een nootje erop.
How much more we could that?
Well, just enough for me, a little bit for you, and maybe we got some for Jort as well. So Jort, if you want to sign your book,
Yes,
you're going to give one away.
absolutely.
Of course, we're going to handle it for Jort, but as a guest on our show, giving away a book, awesome. Thank you for being here.
Yep, no, it was a pleasure.
When your next book comes out, make sure drop in here,
Maybe
cook us another recipe.
Maybe we should do a sneak preview recipe before the book comes out. We'll
like
cook something together that's in the book.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
that idea. Sign the book.
Will do.
We're gonna give it away for Jort. And I want to say thank you, Jort, for being here and for well, entertaining us with this beautiful recipe and giving it to my audience.
Signed and sealed.
Awesome. I'll take good care of it. Thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you for inviting me.
And see you next time.
We'll be back.
Awesome. If you guys enjoyed this video, then leave us a big thumbs up and a comment down below. And Jort will surely be checking those comments. So if you got a question for him, ask it. See you guys in the next video. Until then, eet smakelijk and keep on grilling.